Good morning. You know, there's never a script with me, and sometimes things happen, but we're going ahead. We have a big topic today because a lot of times I get asked the question, should I cut my spike? Shouldn't I cut my spike after it's flowered? Now, that's not a one-size-fits-all answer. And nobody can answer that without examples as to what is a good one to do it with, what isn't a good one, why do it at all, why not. So we're going to cover all those questions today, I think. And if I miss one, you can ask me in the comments, or you can email me at carolynorchidfriends@gmail.com. Hi, Maggie. Oh dear, she wants her little chair and she didn't have it. Anyway, before I get on that topic and talking about spikes, I have to show you my Phalaenopsis Breathless Brilliant that I got on June 11th and changed to all bark as all my little ones in the other video before, a few videos before this I showed you. And I did start off with some pleating, and then I started watering twice a week. So I try to water Wednesdays unless something else is going on. And then Sundays for the little pots are ones that I know like to be a little more moist. So it's been doing really good, and it quit pleating. But see what it's doing? Let me see. It's sending up a spike. Yes, it is. So I'm quite happy about that. Let's see if we can get it from another angle. Yeah, there it is. Sending up a spike, and it's healthy. So I'm really happy, and I had to show you first because sometimes I get going and I forget. So, you know me, I like to jump right into it. So, in the past few days, I have been on orchids with maybe just one or two flowers. I've been cutting off the spikes. And my orchids have been in flowers, say starting the end of December till now. I figure that's pretty good because I have been under 40% humidity all winter because of our furnace and the extra cold winter we had. So I put them in here, and I enjoy them here while the plant gathers energy. But why? Why did I pick these ones? Well, I'm not going to show you those ones, but I'm going to show you what helps me decide. And we're going to go through some of these one at a time because some need it more than others. Now, when I look at my orchid and I'm down to 2 flowers, and it's been giving me beautiful blooms all winter, now into spring. Okay, do I cut it all off or only cut each one of these little nodes has the ability to create another orchid branch. Some people encourage them with a cakey paste. Others just cut them off and wait 1 or 2 months. So if I wanted to do that, I would cut somewhere where the spike is not spindly anymore and about 1/2 inch above a node. That's what I do, making sure that I had sterilized my cutting equipment and making sure that I put a little cinnamon on the end to stop any fungus or disease that may creep in. So, now, would I do it with this one? It's healthy. But I like to go I like to look at my leaves. I like to have at least 5 leaves if I'm going to leave it on. I seldom leave it on, but I'm going to show you one that I did. So 4 leaves, no, I don't like to leave it on. And I want this plant that it's small, but it's healthy. I'm not happy with the pot, but it is. It's growing quite nicely. It's attached. It's got good root system. And so, yes, this one is going to join the flowers in the vase. And I'm going to go back to the medium, and I'm going to see where the first node is, which is here. Right in here. And I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch above that, and I'm going to add this to my spike. Now I'm not going to start cutting them all right now because we'll be here a long time even though I got that many. So you know what I was going to do. So why? Because I like to see at least 5 leaves or more, and healthy leaves, before I decide to leave it to go again. And when I do cut it, I like to cut it so it's not going to be straggly or hard to handle amongst the other orchids. So any one of these nodes is able to reflower if cut a 1/2 inch or so above the node. But will I do it to this one? No, I don't think so. So let's just put that one aside for a minute. And maybe I'll show you this one first. Now, this is one that I got, this bigger one I got for Mother's Day. So it's almost, oh, sorry. This one I got for Mother's Day, the one in bloom. So it's almost been a year. Now, it has a new leaf coming. It has a new leaf coming in there. Oh my thing. That's the big one. That's the little one. Yes, there's a new leaf coming. I want to see that leaf come. Now, the flowers are still in very good shape. They're not showing any signs of wilting yet. And it's so pretty, but the last leaf that grew here was small. And it was just had its medium changed last Mother's Day. It got put in this pot with my older orchid that I had that were both white. And when it grew its last leaf, it was small. Now I want this next leaf that is starting to grow to be big and healthy, because the bigger and healthy the leaves are, the more leaves there are, the more healthy the plant, the more flowers you'll get on the flowering time. So I will be cutting this one off. I'll go probably about 1 inch above the node that's closest to the medium. And I will cut that one off later. Now, the big one I had already, excuse me, where did I put my water? I need to drink water. Sometimes I don't talk because I don't see anybody for a long time. Then I start talking. Then I don't know when to quit. Lucky you're not my next door neighbor. Okay, so this one I'd had a while. I put it in this same pot. They're doing good. They have lots of roots. Now, what happened for those that you were watching, this one that I had for a while, it grew a huge big spike and it went right out. What are you not supposed to do? Let your flower be over a radiator, especially in this country in the winter. The spike was huge. It was something like the big white one up there that is just starting to open, if you can see that. Now, I didn't notice we had no heater cover on our vent, so the spike grew up. Even though the plant was away from the vent, the spike grew up because the window was right there and the heater's under it, and it blasted all its flowers because of that. So what did I do? I said to myself, well, Carolyn, this orchid has like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves. One new one coming. Now, I want that new one to grow healthy, but the plant itself has tons of roots. And after this video, I will do a close-up of a few things that I am not showing you right now. So I said to myself, well, it didn't use its energy opening all those buds because they blasted from the heat. So what did I do? I picked I didn't want it to be real straggly, so I didn't cut it off 1 node or 2 nodes below the last bud. Or it would have been the first bud that opened, the bottom flower. I didn't go like 1 node below that. I decided to go further to keep it tidy. And I said to it, I said, well, you know, it was my fault that you lost your flowers, and so I'm going to give you a chance, if you want to, I'm going to give you a chance to send out another branch. So I do want to show you what it's doing. Okay. It has started to send out. Now I don't use any cakey paste. I just cut it off, put some cinnamon on the end. I cut it a little close. I probably had it 1/4 of an inch from the node, where 1/2 inch would be better. And I cut it off. I'm going to have to get her a chair. She's crying. Hold on. We can't have Maggie crying. Oh boy. Come here and see Mom then. Come here. Come here. Okay. Oh boy. Now see, you're interrupting the video and everybody will say, where is she? Okay, she's on the chair. Now you stay there and be a good girl. So anyway, that is turning out good. It's doing its purpose. Now if this was the other orchid that had lost its flowers, I would have cut it off close to the base, 1/2 inch above a node maybe. It can still use up the bit of stem that I leave. But all those nodes, I don't want any energy going to those nodes. I want all the energy in a circumstance like that to go to the plant and the roots. And then if you're fertilizing on your fertilizer days with a high middle number for flowers, now is the time to switch to the higher first number, nitrogen, and the last number for good leaves and roots. Healthy on each end, flowers in the middle. So okay, let's put that one aside. So this is why you just can't say, oh, cut them all off or don't cut them all off. No, it doesn't work this way. Now, this is Moonglow. Now, I've had Moonglow a long time, and she has 3 flowers. Now, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 real healthy leaves. One's a little yellow. It probably might lose that this summer, but maybe not. I've had them. I have some orchids that have yellow original leaves for years. So if it needs it, it will use it. But if it doesn't, it will stay like that. So now, she also threw out from where I'd cut off a spike before. It didn't use that spike, and even though it was cut close to the ground, it had sent up another branch. That branch I'll cut off, and these flowers I am going to also cut off 1/2 inch from the node on the bottom to let this plant grow more leaves. If I get flowers for 3, 4, and sometimes 5 months, I think they deserve the rest. I mean, if you had a baby, you would enjoy the rest. So, okay, so that one will be getting cut off. Now, this one here, The flowers are starting to look flimsy. They're getting that look where they're ready to say no, no, no. So, and it only has 4 leaves. This is one I haven't had long. I can't remember. Always date your orchid somewhere. I just didn't, and I'm started to. Now, one of the leaves, it has been using some of this leaf. So I am going to be trimming this one right off because I want more leaf and root growth, and it's been so beautiful for me. But it wasn't a huge amount of flowers. It had only the energy to do this. Next year, I want it to have lots of energy. And we'll talk about gathering that energy in your plant on another video soon to come. So we'll put this one here. Now, this one has 1 yellow leaf, and then, so that's 4, 5, 6 leaves. It's a healthy plant. The leaves are firm, but it's down to 1 flower. Yes, all of these would keep adding, they would keep adding more flowers on the end, but 1 or 2, and how necessary is it for the energy. So this one will also be trimmed back to 1/2 inch above this node, the first node from the plant, 1/2 inch, even halfway between both the bottom node and the node after that. So this one is getting trimmed off. It's healthy, but this is why you make the decision of what you want for each plant. It's like your children, they're all a little different. They've all had different things happen to them. Some are newer, some are older, and now this is orchid I am going to trim off. This is the one that decided to send spikes out from down inside the media, not even between leaves. It has 1 beautiful little flower left, but I am going to trim that off. And this may flower again in the summer when it usually does. So we will see. It's healthy. It has a nice amount of leaves, but I will be trimming that one off. So put that over there. And this one has like 4, 5, 6, 7 leaves. One of them is looking a little, some of them never ever lost leaves, and they've been getting more and more all the time. And this one still have flowers, so I'm going to leave this one in flower for a while because I'm not down to 1 or 2. They're not looking limp. They're still quite firm and pretty, and the plant itself is not showing any signs of stress. So this one I'll be leaving in flower. Now in behind my traffic cones, they're still in healthy flower. I'm not cutting them off. When I get down to a couple flowers, my traffic cones I will cut right down. Now they have a lot of leaves. This one down here has 5, but it's the one that had an accident a few years ago and lost 2 leaves because it hit the floor. Long story. And it has these beautiful flowers. That one is going to gather energy. When it gets down to a couple flowers, I will snip it off. But the ones in the traffic cone seem to do so good here because the traffic cones are rubbery and they help hold moisture. And yet we made great big 1-inch holes in them for air. So it seems to be the bigger pot in a drier environment because this is not a grow room. I want to live with my orchids and I don't want to just visit them once in a while. I look at them every day, more than once a day. So yes, and And the one in the back, let's see if I can go over here. Now this one here has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leaves. Now I could say, okay, I'm going to let this one flower again. It has lots of nice roots. I'll be showing this at the end of the video. And this one here, it's just flowering. It has beautiful roots on the outside of the traffic cone. And it has lots of leaves. It's healthy, has a nice big spike. So, of course, I'm leaving that one. Now, we're getting there. So, this vase, I may have to switch up to a bigger vase. Now, in here, I didn't have any soda water, but I did put lemon juice in. And these have been in here quite a while. And the lemon juice adds a little acidity, and they seem to like it, and they seem to last longer. So you can use like, we don't drink pop. We're trying to be careful what we eat and drink, so we don't have any soda pop, but 7-Up or a lime flavored 7-Up would also work good. So I'll just put this back in here. Now, if you have a new orchid, and I have to explain this because the orchid I got before this one was late fall, and it's sad, and I'm going to show you after I show you this one. So this is my latest one. It's so heavy in flowers, the one it wants to fall over. I didn't lose any when I changed from the moss to the bark. Every last bud is opening up. Now, I know I do not want to cut it off yet. It's so beautiful. Now, let's look at the leaves. Since I repotted this, I'm watering this twice a week. It's in this big pot. It has lots of air circulation in the pot, but it also holds humidity good. So it has some big holes, but it does dry out quicker, and most of mine, yes, they're used to it. Now, if these leaves were starting to fall the least little bit, and they're still firm, I check them every day. I also mist once a day. I don't do it every day, but once a day is good. Just on those top roots that are above the surface here. Because it had no aerial roots, someone had cut them off. It's so beautiful, but if I start to see, or if you have a new orchid, and it is showing signs of the leaves starting to go limp, even the bottom ones, if they start to show signs of going limp, now these are still firm, I would cut the spike off right at the base, a ½ inch above that last node. Somewhere, when you go up from the bark, you find a node, somewhere between that node and the node above it. I would do it. And I'm keeping my eye on this, and I'm going to show you why. It is important, and put this in a vase. It will last a long time in the vase, but for now, because I think the 2 waterings and soaking the bark for the 3 days while I've got this drop potted, if you didn't see that video, please watch it. It was good information. It was just a few videos before this. So that's what I'm doing with this. Now, the sad one. Now, okay. I could not believe it. So this is the orchid I got in the fall. I tried tenting it in plastic for humidity. Instead of watering it twice a week, I had tented it. I had left the flowers on a long, long time. They had huge flowers, and I wasn't paying attention to the leaves. Now, this leaf's a little firm, not proper. And this one, it's not good either. And it has some nice roots. It has one there. It has another one coming up inside. And I'm started to give it an extra watering too, because when you have all bark, it does run right through. You wouldn't water twice if you had something else in with the bark that was holding moisture, but mine run right through, and for a healthy plant, that's it. They love it, and they get very hardy roots, which I'll show you on other ones after. So now what did it do? Well, it's trying to send up another spike. It had humongous branches and branches of flowers. They were smaller than this one, but it was very full, very full. Dark, dark purple. That's why the leaves are a little darker. It's the purple, dark, dark purple that were in the flowers. So, okay. Now, I am cutting this spike off. I've been looking at it, and I thought I'd wait till I did the video. I'm going to cut it about 1/2 inch above that bottom node, because those nodes do draw energy. Now, they might not develop into the flower. They might not be able to draw enough energy. But the ones that are up higher, there's enough energy there. They will draw energy like this one, and they will respike. I do not want to draw any energy away from this plant. It is not able to withstand it. And we'll keep our eye on this one as time goes. I have it in a small traffic cone and planted the same as the others. So I'm glad it has some roots. But yes, this one I will cut right now. And I we have a gas stove, so my bottom back element's very small, and I heated this up very good. And I am going to say, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to cut 1/2 inch above. And I'm going to put this in some water. I'll stick it in here for now. Who knows what will happen? But I know, don't cry everybody. I hated to do it, but I'm thinking of long term. It's a beautiful orchid. I want it to get 2 leaves this growing season, and most of them will get 1 or 2 leaves, but I want this one to get 2. So I'm going to put some cinnamon on that after, because I don't have it out right now. I just use a little Q-tip, dip it in the cinnamon, and put it on the end. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that one. So, but I don't want to end with bad news, so I have some good news to end with. Now, this is Phalaenopsis. She is my little peloric. She had the most beautiful flower a couple months ago, and the same spike, this is where she flowered from. This spike right here. But then she decided to grow another spike here, and this one, it looks like I'm going to get another flower. And who knows, maybe both spikes, because they both have little, and that's pretty exciting. The plant was also taken out of moss and put into just bark, and gets watered twice a day. It's very happy. It's happy. And the leaves are kind of a mottled dark. That's quite natural for this one. So now I'm writing the dates on everything, because I got this October 28th, 2021. So it's exciting. So I didn't want to end on a bad note. So I'm going to show you a close-up of a few things as we go out. And thank you very much for joining me. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, so please be safe and look after yourselves. Don't work too hard. And share a smile with a friend. Okay, so I'm just going to take the camera off. I'm going to walk real slow. I need all the practice I can get with that. Okay. Because I always move. You think you're moving fast with the camera, and You think you're moving slow, but you're not. So this one, it looks, you know, not too bad. But you can see the lippiness coming. So I think this one is due for a cut. Probably halfway between. There's a nice, now even though this bark is dry, those roots, this is dry. It was watered on Wednesday, that's all. But see, once the roots are adapted, they love it. You know, they're quite happy. So it will get cut halfway between this node and this node. And sometimes those nodes are wider apart and you can cut closer to the bottom. So I want this to become very healthy. So now, this is my older orchid. Look at the roots down in here. So, and a close-up of the spike. I'm curious myself because I've never let one do this before. And I'm curious. Now look at the roots in here. Look at this. They do love being together. It wasn't a little too much sun. It started to go lighter, but the leaves are looking good. And of course, this is the newer one. And there's a nice new leaf. You see how short? Well, this was stress from moving from moss to bark. And over time, you find different things to do, but they're all firm. They look happy. So you can see where Moonglow did grow from way inside the media. That spike came way down in there. So that will be coming off. And, oh no, not that one, but that one did come under a second leaf, which is most often what they do. This is the one that came from way inside the medium, way down in there. So it's just so little. So that one will be coming off. And this orchid is still doing well. The leaves are good. Once this just has a couple flowers, this is the one that got damaged. So this is still a leaf that one or two got broke right off. That one got half. So I am going to, it's got nice roots, but I am going to trim that one. Now look at the roots on this one. I love it though. And no longer do I cut them off, because the first time I did cut them off, I took it right out the pot. Next time I'll just shake the bark out when it needs it. And I will put new bark in without taking these roots. They think they're in a tree. They think they're in the crotch of a tree, and they are quite happy. And this one too, it has some roots coming out of the traffic cone. There's even one down here. Now these, you don't have to make your holes right to the bottom. This one over here has only roots. You can see the metal where the bark stops. So it's like a big orchid pot, but it loves clinging to the rest. But you don't need the holes at the bottom. You can, but look at this. But the leaves are healthy and firm, and I'm going to show you all the way down. I have an exciting thing to share soon about traffic cones. Thanks to a subscriber, but we'll get into that another day. And I should show you just a close-up. We still got the amaryllis in bloom, some new ones to come. One I put outside. So that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and I'm glad to have you visit me daily. Bye.